Hey, this is Anney.
And Samantha.
And welcome to Stuff I Never Told You, a production of iHeartRadio. And welcome to another edition of Happy Hour, as always. If you choose to drink or whatever you're choosing to do, please do so responsibly. Samantha, are you doing things responsibly?
I'm drinking coffee, so a peek behind the curtains. It's not quite noon yet. So I can have coffee right now. So responsibly, yes, because after about 2, cannot have the coffee anymore, the caffeines. So yes, Anney, I am being responsible.
Yeah. Well, now you've exposed me because I'm drinking rosé. That rosé is kind of a morning wine.
And also, we have established that for the next 4 years, it is airport rules. So just be cautious, but understand. But we understand.
Yeah, and that's a couple things. That is a good segue into what I want to talk about. But this is a happy hour.
Happy.
I was determined to make it a happy hour.
Love it.
But my mom, I've said before, she buys me for like my birthday or any gift giving instance wine from North Georgia because there's wineries up there. So this is one I have not tried. It's rosé, and she's constantly asking me, like, was it good? Constantly is not his. She asked me frequently-ish.
Yes.
Like, did you like it? And I haven't tried it yet. So it's my first time trying it. And I do like it. So I can report back to her.
Good.
But
multitasking.
Yeah. I've been thinking about multitasking lately because, again, somewhat related. So the election, as you might imagine, kind of took us out and we were anticipating it. Like we planned, like all that stuff that came out that week before our reaction episode. We knew there was a chance we might be too depressed to record. So we planned it. But it means that, and plus the holidays coming, like it's a lot. And while we're not going to turn away from things, we all need the like happier things or the breathers, moments like that. And I know for me, after I got too choked up to really talk about what happened right after the election for me, but I was so overstimulated that I couldn't multitask. Like I'm pretty good at it, but I couldn't do it. I was like, either you're focusing on this or this, but you are not going to try to do both. And so I've gotten a little bit better, but I still am like watching like meditation, like rain videos.
Which is great. That's how I sleep. Rain and ocean sounds.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I've been doing. I'm giving myself a little space before I get back into the news. Like I'm still getting news, but like I was previously. But that being said, it can be difficult when you're on a show like ours or, just existing and care about people in general that are going to be impacted by this election to do things that seem frivolous, that seem fun. But I think it's really important. And we've talked before about burnout and activism and how having that space is important to prevent that. That being said, it's Life Day this weekend.
You gotta find your joys.
You gotta find your joy somewhere. It is okay to do it. I know we talked, I think last time Trump was elected, we talked about how it can feel strange if you have like something you did, like, I came out with a book. And it can feel strange promoting it, but you did come out with it's a big deal. So it's okay. It feels weird. It does. But yeah, it is Life Day. I am struggling to deal with the fact that it's Life Day because it doesn't feel, we were talking about this before, it doesn't feel like November, like mid-November to me. Life Day is November 17th. And if you've somehow missed it, Life Day is a Star Wars holiday. It is based on the 1979, a Star Wars holiday special. And it's the holiday special is notorious because it is weird and pretty bad. I love it. It has gone mainstream now that Disney has bought Star Wars, even though they have yet to actually like release the whole thing. It's like you kind of have to know where to go to get it.
Or don't if you don't want to.
Or don't. That's fair. No, it's fair. But now
they made me watch it, y'all. They made me watch it.
You didn't even get to the B. Arthur part.
I didn't.
That's the good part.
Well, and then I came back to them watching it the third time in a row. Anyway, keep going.
Well, and I didn't watch it for a long time because you can find it. I'm making it sound more difficult than it is, but there's no like legal way to get it. Now I'm incriminating myself even more. It's on YouTube illegally, I would say. But I hadn't seen it until I think during the pandemic, I was like, you know what? Let's do it. And I'm so glad I did. And I like saved the text message chain I had with a friend who had seen it before. And she was like, oh, you gotta tell me your thoughts.
I love this.
And I love that I saved it because I was like, you could never have prepared me for this. Never in a million years. The first 9 minutes, no English. No one says anything.
Yeah. It is a sight to behold. Sure.
Spectacle. So I did have another Star Wars episode I was going to do for this, but it actually like got really long, and it's, I would say, more complainy, and I don't even know how much people want to hear me complain. So I was like, no, let me think about this because I really want to do something happier. And I feel like one of the reasons, I started doing my tradition of Sunday with the original trilogy is because, and the reason when it came out, it was so popular, like one of the main reasons they always say is optimism. It was optimism. We are in our Revenge of the Sith era. So I'm trying to read the room. And I do want to come back and talk about this thing that is like driving me bonkers right now, where I feel like we were agreed the Empire and Sith were bad and now people aren't. And I'm like, what are we doing?
It has happened.
It has. But yeah, that's I will save that episode for a later date. Not for today. Something else I wanted to talk about is that I think it is important to have distractions or entertainment. I know, like on the other show, we do Savor, which is, by the way, political because food is political, but it's right. Like not overtly so, usually some episodes, and it's clear where we stand. But it can feel weird, like when I'm writing corn puns, which I was doing last night. And by the way, they rejected my well, I guess they should have. Well, down to shuck is too too risque. Anyway, it can feel very like, what am I doing? Wow. But then people would write in and they were like, I really need something like this right now, or I really needed something like this right now. So it is that balance of still fighting all of that stuff, but also having that space for, you know what, this weekend is Life Day, and I'm going to put on my Life Day robe. I got my Life Day globe. I got my Chewbacca, who has also got a globe. All of these are amazing gifts friends have given me. I'm going to make a dish from my Life Day cookbook.
Exciting.
It is exciting. I think I'm going to make there's a very mushroom, I think it's like a shepherd's pie type thing. But ooh, that's what I'm thinking I'm going to make. But then I was thinking about, generally like to complain. I don't generally. Sometimes, like, if I know we're in agreement, I do. But generally, I don't want to make, if somebody likes something, I guess, I don't want to make them feel bad. But the thing is, I've learned from other friends that some people like to complain. So I don't know that they're seeing it in the same way that I'm seeing it, or like interpreting it the same way. Like I said, I do have kind of a complainy Star Wars episode coming up. But when I think about the holiday special, it is really fun in terms of it is a train wreck and you can complain about it. Like it's fun to watch it with people and be like, what is this? What is going on here? And I do want to say, because I think last Life Day I talked about the documentary that came out about how it got made. Like, I think you can work on something and do the best job. And that doesn't mean, like, I don't want to say the people who are like working on sound or whatever. It sounds to me like essentially there was just a lot of bad communication and misunderstanding of what Star Wars was. And it was just kind of came together in this. So I don't want to be like, everyone did a terrible job on it or anything like that. But it is, I mean, it's just, especially to our modern eyes, because a lot of people will be like, well, TV was like that in the 70s. I'm like, really? But, whoa. But to our modern eyes, it feels very strange, is one way to put it. And so that can be fun to share that with someone if they enjoy it. Like you said, plenty of people do not. And I get that too. But I have friends who do. And I have friends who are like, we don't have to actually watch it, right? It'll be on. But we don't have to actually watch it. Like, yes, that's fine. So I get it. I do. But it's just like a nice, especially because after I was trying to do that other happy hour on Halloween about how much I love Halloween, but I was so stressed about the election coming up that I ended up not really doing the stuff I normally do on Halloween. But I did talk in that episode about how I like Halloween because it doesn't have the stakes. Life Day does not have the stakes. But I will say more people have gotten in on it, and I'm starting to be like, oh no. We're not making Life Day a huge thing. Hold on.
Are you trying to gatekeep this?
I don't want to, but
JK.
Well, and I feel bad because I've also talked about how I get in my head sometimes about being controlling about media that I like or don't like. And sometimes that can lead to me shutting off about it completely. And it is like my love language. I love sharing things I love with people. And so then I feel guilty when I'm like, actually, I really don't want to watch that. And I don't think the equivalent is the same, because sometimes it's like, I can't enjoy Harry Potter anymore. Like, it's not like, but it makes me feel a little weird. But there are people who love Star Wars, but I feel hate the part of Star Wars I love. Star Wars is huge. So, I mean, there's a lot of room for you to be like, I like this and not this. And so I feel bad, but I have kind of gatekept some things because I'm like, I don't want to listen to you talk about how much you hate the thing that I love at this Star Wars event.
Yeah. That's fair.
Oh, we can do it at a different time, but not on Life Day. Come on.
Not on Life Day. How dare you?
We can talk about how bad the holiday special is.
On this day of life? Never.
Yeah, but I do feel guilty about it. Like, I don't know the line between this is something I want to do for myself. Are you being selfish, or are you, no, this is actually just something you need to do by yourself? I don't know. I think about that a lot. But yeah, I am.
It's called boundaries is good.
I hope so. And I think it's good that I think it's good that I question it, because I also don't want to, I don't know. I just want to keep it in mind. Like, is this a healthy boundary? Are you being too much right now? I don't know. Let me think about it. But that's kind of, everybody wants to celebrate Life Day, but you.
But me? Are you specifically telling
No,
me?
No.
Oh.
My
I'm
rule.
like, are you
But
pointing at me?
Yeah, that's fine.
I mean, to be fair, I just don't realize it's Life Day until you tell me.
Also fair.
And then I'm like, oh, yeah.
Also very fair. I get a lot of messages on Life Day. I love it. But it's just because also, you share friend groups and they're like, is Anney doing something for Life Day? Oh, it's awkward. It seems to be like a special no one talked about it now.
I mean, it's fair. Like, the only reason I know about it is because of you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then I think now Holly, but
yes.
I knew you before Holly, so that would make more sense.
Yeah, but I did, like I said, I don't think I watched it until the pandemic. And there have been really fun, like How Did It Get Made? There are other podcasts on our network, Stuff You Should Know, did a How Did This Happen episode that's really good.
How did this happen? I like that.
Well, the description,
how did it get made?
The description of it was excellent. Like, it said something like, no one can ever explain what happened that night in 1979.
Foreboding.
I love it. And I tried to research, like lightly research some stuff for this about what's the difference between a train wreck someone enjoys and a train wreck someone doesn't? Because there's also train wrecks I've watched and I'm like, I don't want to do this. So, I mean, obviously there's some personal stuff there, but I think there might be like a scientific or some study that's been done about why do we like watching
bad stuff. The Room is a prime example of how did that get so big that they had to make an actual movie about the making of The Room. Like, it's absurd.
Yeah. There's like real world studies that have definitely been done about like basically why you're looking at a car wreck, but I think there's probably similarities, but I was curious if there was one specifically about why do we why are we doing this? And I will say also, just to finish up, I have been struggling like most of us, I would say, but I have managed to do some nerdy stuff. I just beat the Silent Hill 2 remake.
Congratulations.
Which, if you know, that is one of my favorite games. If you know, you might also be like, that's probably one of the worst games you could be playing right now. Fair. But I started it before the election, so and I gotta finish. Yep. And I've also been enjoying What We Do in the Shadows. I've just been sending out of context quotes from it to some of my friends. And it's been very fun. So finding the joy and distractions where you can. Thank you so much to all of my friends, including you, Samantha, for checking in on me and like, hey, you should probably play Mario Party or something. I'm like, yeah, okay. Which I did. It's probably the saddest game of Mario Party that's ever been played, but I
did. You play by yourself?
Yeah. But there is a single player mode in the new one.
I'm sure that there was a moment of confusion. Good job. Well, I'm glad you did something.
I did. I mean, I'm trying.
We did threaten her and hanging out with people at one point in time, and like, you have to choose. But then she was like, no, I'm physically sick. I was like, fine. I'll let you go.
I've been pretty sick.
I think my ultimatum was, you have to respond to me, though, in text.
Yeah, I felt bad. It wasn't anything purposeful. I was just like lying on the floor sick.
Yeah.
Gosh. But
not to say too much. There is protocols at hand between us and
I know.
Some of us.
I suspected. I suspected. But yes, I'm going to take this Life Day.
Yay.
And I'm going to relax in my comfy robe and wonder at this spectacle of 1979.
Perfect.
Yeah. Well, listeners, if you celebrate Life Day, or if
we
you,
do. We
yeah,
got listeners who do.
yeah, let me know if you have any traditions or recipes. I would love to know that. Just Star Wars recipes in general, or just anything you want to highlight or shout out that you're doing, or anything you found comfort in. Yeah, let us know. Happy Life Day. Which, by the way, is very appropriate because Life Day is about the struggle to free yourself from the empire. So there you go.
There you go.
All right. If you would like to write to us, you can. Our email is stephanie@momstuff@iheartmedia.com. You can find us on Twitter at momstuffpodcast, or on Instagram and TikTok at Stuff We Never Told You. We also are on YouTube. We have TeePublic Store, and we have a book you can get wherever you get your books. Thanks as always to our super producer Christina, our executive producer Maya, and our contributor Joey.
Thank you.
And thanks to you for listening. Stuff I Never Told You is a production of iHeartRadio. For more podcasts from iHeartRadio, you can check out the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your favorite shows.